Even as a support, I think that with all these first 2 Phoenixes coming out, there should be more silencer in Dota.
So you'd rather just prevent the egg from coming out altogether rather than focus on killing it?
Well, not just that. If you last word Phoenix, it's also the laning phase. You can't dive away properly. And in addition, you silence them and you just kill them. It forces Phoenix to think about egg usage a lot more, whereas it feels just like totally free Phoenix games, even when it's first 2'd through most of the matches I've seen in the Immortal Division.
Yeah, I never get to see silencer. I always want to see it when I see like some great initiations, like your Bat silencer, your Void Spirit silencer, or something like that. I mean, it could work, but no one picks this hero.
Rarely seeing Shadow Demon also, but VP seem to prioritize the hero quite heavily. No real hard counter like we saw against the Oracle in Game 1, so what justifies the Shadow Demon here?
Still good versus mobility course. It's good versus Dusa in mid game too. If this Dusa gets fat, get your illusions of that Dusa. That split shot is insane in the later stages.
It's a comfort hero for solo too. He's a big fan, and he also goes a more unconventional build. We typically see Poison maxed out. He skipped it, went 4-4-0-0 or 0-1.
Second time we've seen that now too from him. Yeah. He really likes to go for
it
this full 5 position.
It's a lot of damage on your W when you go this bout, and they go for the Rubik. It's quite nice. To your point, talking about Dusa getting big, disruption, etc. Rubik just steals it. So whether he gets purge or disrupt, it's very effective, and it's nice to have a kill threat. Also good against the Doom. Nice ganker to play with the Void.
I think it's also the triple range tri-lane. We saw them doing it with the Arc Ward, and boom, this is literally the same heroes, just insert Medusa instead of Arc Ward, and you run this aggro lane, and it's been pretty dominant. I did like the way it worked. I think it works, of course, better with Arc Warden, but at least Mystic Snake applies a slow now, so there's a little bit more of that kill threat that can come out.
It's weird, the tri-lane's coming back, and that I actually am liking it.
Me too.
Not necessarily, I'm not sold on it yet from a strategy point of view, but I missed tri-lanes. For a long time now, it feels like the meta is just involved, I don't want to say brainlessly, but it's just dual lanes every time. It's just, I'm sure there have been multiple games in the past that tri-lanes would have served one of the teams well.
This is a rare meta, though, where I don't feel like tri-lanes are making any new heroes viable. I don't think that this is a hero that we can tri-lane this hero, now we can do it. It's more like, well, these heroes are good. They're always good. What if we put all 3 of them in the same lane? So it's a different evolution of a tri-lane than in previous metas, I think.
I think it has a lot to do with the solos that are coming back. Like this Fury and Core, as an example, probably benefits from having a tri-lane. We saw it in the previous game, too, where no one had a decent laning phase. It's more about his level ups. Because he hit 6 in, I think, 5 or 6 minutes, and then they immediately find kills, and suddenly they're pushing for towers. We talked about this a lot, but I think ultimately the most important thing about the meta right now, in Dota in general, is especially after the removal of shrines, was actually a big buff to heroes that can self-sustain. Stuff like Ember Spirit, as an example. Heroes that can get the fountain and immediately come back are better, because there's no way of regaining HP and mana on the map, with the exception of bottling runes. And that's just not going to cut it for most heroes. You even see Secret looking to abuse that, though, as Zai buys bottle effectively every game. They really prioritize the ability to stay on map, and that's why we're going to continue to keep seeing these sorts of heroes. Phoenix in the same way, right? You just pop egg, hey, look, guys, full health for me.
Tranquil Boots as well, and you have Sunray and just...
Yeah. I'm surprised we don't see more Tranquils, but it's definitely something necessary on stuff like Support Tiny, assuming that's not a no-one hero.
I think that's... I mean, it's still flexible, of course, but yeah, I'd assume that's Zayas. Actually, no, wait, they have Phoenix and Shadow Demon. Wait, what are we talking about? It's got to be no one, right?
When VP had Pasha, you always had to expect it could be a tri-lane Phoenix.
Yeah.
Over 1,000 games on the hero, but
I guess it's still flexible, but I imagine that is Tiny versus Void Spirit. I've seen Tinys lose to Void Spirit almost every time recently, though.
Really?
Yeah, in the mid lane. They just get...
How?
They just get output. They can't push out the lane. That's the problem. Void Spirit doubles up the waves, and I've actually, I see him kill them. He gets level 2 and then threatens a couple of times.
Why don't you just go tree first? Just smack the wave.
Yeah, that's you only have 5 charges, right? It's not as strong as it used to be, so it's been affected a lot heavily. I've seen it a couple of times. It's Tiny has 0 armor. The trading of the hits. Void Spirit hits hard.
Yeah, makes sense.
I've seen that one a few times, but it could definitely go. I mean, just to see player skill coming in.
I am concerned. VP's damage output right now is very limited. In the previous game, they had similar strengths, but they have Lycan, they have Fury, and it's like, oh shit, damage. Whereas right now, it's very all in on their cooldown usage and their big ultimates. And Void Spirit and Medusa are quite tanky. You don't really have much raw DPS, at least persistent DPS throughout a fight. So this last hero's got to kind of solve that. That's why 5 men ban out Terrorblade and Alchemist, arguably 2 of the best heroes at utilizing gold around the 20-25 minute mark and outputting damage. You could see, I said last game, Meepo into these supports, into Void Spirit.
Could work.
Pick a Drow Ranger.
Okay, this is a long time considered a counter to Dusa. You get the silence off, no ult possible. You can outrange her later on, and you just do some pretty heavy damage. But
Can
there's
you
nothing
outrange
with
her
it.
versus Venge?
That's
That's
true.
the thing. Venge already just gives you that extra attack speed.
Now what's the pick for Zibe?
I don't think they solved. It's a first 2 Medusa pick, and I'm not seeing heroes that solved a first 2. Like, hey guys, we can kill Dusa now. I'm not really seeing it so much.
Does the Drow at least solve your one issue of lack of sustained DPS? Because that was the main thing that you were noting.
Kinda, but not really. I feel like this game is all on no one Tiny now. That's the guy that's going to have to take it home for him. Drow, from what I've seen, doesn't like to get involved too early on. I usually just see her farming. And if the lane goes poorly, you're in big trouble. And if you're aggroed on in this case, I feel like 5 men have a pretty big advantage on you.
Yeah, I agree. And I think Void Spirit, so I like playing Void Spirit versus Drow. You have a shield that absorbs that damage, that physical damage, and you get right on top of her. You literally you're always going to get on her.
Yeah, and just straight up Beastmaster. I was saying, just get some sort of damage amplification. This is a BKB piercing stun as well. You've got this in combination with the Venge Aura now.
Quad, they have the triple ranged heroes with Beastmaster Aura versus Phoenix too.
Yeah.
Looks pretty nice.
Yeah, because the one alternative is maybe you finish the game in 25 minutes before Medusa can come online, but with the level of wave clear that 5 men have, the team fight capabilities, it doesn't seem like it's going to be as easy as it was in game 1, even though odds still leaning favor of VP. Unsurprisingly, after seeing that game 1 complete destruction, you'd be hard-pressed to go any other way, but...
And a little hometown favoritism as well. We got a lot of fans tuning in that are certainly pulling for VP. I love 5 men's lineup in this game. I think it's their game to lose. Virtus.pro, always possible. They do have a lot of kill threat. You know, if you blink forwards with Tiny, doom somebody, egg goes off. 5 men don't have the same kind of team fight, but in theory their lanes should go well, and then every minute that transpires afterwards, they'll have more gold farmed because their heroes are just better at hitting creeps.
I think they also just have, this is just a better win condition. It's just like, okay, VP, the onus is on you to end the game.
Yeah.
This Medusa at some point is going to be an absolute beast with that Venge behind. And they have good high ground defense. They have pretty strong lanes too. Definitely liking this one. I feel like this one's just less risky. I feel like the last one, just because of what they're playing against VP, it was just like, shit, we can't make a couple mistakes, so we get run over. I don't see VP being able to do that kind of run over at all this game. They only have the Drow to be able to push those towers and capitalize on objectives. And it still looks like a good Dusa game, which is a first 2 Dusa pick. So.
Yeah, that is... so, with the last pick, Drow, what do you think VP's solution was in there? What shortcomings were they trying to fulfill? Because there are more traditional Medusa counters, like an anti-mage, I guess, which they didn't know what the last pick on 5 men was... Oh, it was banned.
They banned it right after they picked Dusa, yeah.
So what was VP going for with this Drow? They're like, this is our solution to how we're going to win this game. Because it doesn't seem to answer the Drow problem, so what problem was it answering?
It usually had limited options. I think it's just comfort hero, and it does match up well against the Dusa, and it gives them the structure damage missing.
And a silence versus Voice Spirit.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty decent.
It's you needed a carry that dealt damage, but the utility that Drow provides is going to be very nice. Like VP's lineup kind of needed this like cheap spell to create advantage, because otherwise it's like, okay, egg, doom, tiny combo, and like a disrupt. Those are your only options for like playmaking. So the silence is actually pretty key to take out these 2 cores.
Yeah.
And that being said, you both are still kind of leaning 5 men on this draft.
Yeah, more so than last. I think this one's just less risky. I feel like the last one, like we said, it was risky because they can just get run over. This one, I don't see a way. I don't see them being able to get run over. I think this Dusa is going to have a good game. Even if she dies once or twice, she's going to be able to back up in jungle because she has a Void Spirit making space. She has all these other heroes that can put pressure.
Then let's see if 5 men can replicate their series that they won versus Alliance after losing game 1 as we toss it over to our casters.
Thank you very much, Tsunami. Yes, game 2. Let's see how it goes. We're getting the Dusa coming out from 5 men, their second pick here in the draft. Plenty of picks for the side of VP to respond to it. What do you sort of think of their response and their approach this game, Lacoste? Do you like what they've decided to try and do against the Dusa here?
Well, I was watching the draft. 2 last picks kind of were familiar to me, what they're going to go for. And I feel like they wanted also to prepare for the tri-lane. That's a possibility for 5 men. If they decide to go, once again, aggressive tri-lane with Medusa, with the Venge, and Rubik, I think that's extremely strong. But for now, they're just keeping it simple.
All right, yeah. Starting with just Misery down here with Zibe. keeping the Deucer in the safe lane, and looks like on the side of VP they're also not going to do anything too crazy. Drow starting down here on the safe lane, and of course no one in this mid matchup against Chessie. So there's the Tiny versus Void Spirit matchup. I mean, how do you feel that you've seen this go most of the times in a 1v1?
Sometimes it looks pretty even, but most of the time Void Spirit just gets on top. You're playing against hero with 0 armor, so that could be pretty tough for Tiny. And with the recent changes to 3 grab, you can't really just keep that 3 all the time. You have 5 charges, so I think that's a huge nerf to a Tiny. Also one of the reasons why they wanted to have something like a Drow Ranger on the bottom lane. Possibility prepare for that Beastmaster pick. You know, you don't care too much about getting harassed by the boar. Let's see how this mid lane's doing. Chessie so far doing fine, 4 CS against 3 on Tiny. And I believe Solo, once again, will go for the same item build. Sorry, skill build. But he does not get the point in Shadow Poison, just, you know, plays pure defensively. But that W is going to deal a ton of damage once you max it out.
Yeah, that instant opening damage, or at least temporary damage, can really set up for some of these kills. Very strong with burst here. It's right like the Tiny. Once Tiny starts making moves, Solo's always going to be able to set up with the Soul Catcher to bring them to an HP threshold that this Avalanche Toss just destroys them.
Tiny will need to pop off for Virtus.pro. I think he is the key hero of this draft, where he needs to be able to kill the heroes, someone like Avenge or Rubik, before the fight starts. And he also always threatens a kill on the Void Spirit. One of the reasons why they went for Drow Ranger, they needed some extra, not lockdown, but control for this Void Spirit, because they were very limited. And that silence is going to do miracle, I think.
Yeah. And again, would you agree that this is a game where they're going to have to keep it pretty fast? VP going late against the Deuce is never really going to be an option, or do they have some tools late game that can be good against Ace?
It's a lineup that scales, you know, taking over the Medusa illusions with the Shadow Demon and having a Drow Ranger, but still feel like Medusa Beastmaster Venge is just the better late game option that I would always side to.
Yeah, lots of ways to really empower this Medusa and keep her safe with the swap saves. So far, looking at the last hits, it's only, everyone's really sort of getting a look in. I guess this top lane, Rezo, okay, he's struggling a little bit. Only 5 CS at the moment on this off lane Phoenix, so that will be the slow start here.
Zibe, look at his build. 80 damage on a Beastmaster, 2 Fairy Fires, belt, and a Magic Wand. Like, usually you don't want to get a Magic Wand, especially if you know that Solo's not gonna get... I mean, Magic Wands, don't get me wrong, it's one of the best items in the game where you must have it on a hero. But he's tanky, alright, they're making a move.
And Pi, falling very low here to the Fire Spirits, but we'll be fine.
This is what you see more often, just position 4s getting straight up Tranquil Boots, where they, get out of the fight for 10 seconds, 15, regen up almost to full HP, and then they start harassing once again.
And do you like this decision as well for VP running the Doom as the 4 and the Phoenix as the off lane, rather than the other way around? Like, why have they done it this way?
I think it's much easier for Phoenix to farm in terms of what he's laning against 2 range heroes, something that he does not like to, and extra minus armor. But it's also not that great of a Phoenix game. Oh, a lot of heroes dropping very low.
And Misery versus Solo. I think Misery, he should have this. Runs him down. Easy kill for Misery in bottom lane. Zibe, he's in onto RTW. He's just able to run him down under the tower and get the kill alone.
Just wants to die. There's no one to pick up the XP since Solo died, so this is very efficient gaming coming on from 5 men already.
Hey, getting some early kills here in these side lanes. And as we say, farm across the board, definitely looking the better for them. All 3 of their cores are hitting the creeps just fine. That top lane, definite slow start for Resolution with the way that 5 men have been able to hold on to it and get a fair few denies here in that safe lane. Five-minute runes up as VP. They're going to try and make a move down here. They're coming in with the smoke, Solo, and no one. So they can find a disruption into the combo of the Tiny. See if they can burst. Same time at top high.
That was...
well, where was he going? What was he doing?
I don't know.
What was he doing? What was he trying to do? He just walked down. He just walked in.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I really have no idea what that was.
Did he have...
trying to put some...
Was he trying to... I don't think he had a ward. Was he trying to ward? He Did he just stop looking at his hit? He just walked down by the cliff. After he'd seen them. Like, he was already the wrong side of Zayat.
I mean, you can't ward in front of the full creep wave that's going to be noticed. I mean, you're playing against the professional players. Not sure what that was.
No. That was a little strange. Rizzo able to dive out just in time, and Pi, he's going to take quite a punch here from Zayat.
Phoenix will come back and use Fire Spirits, yeah.
Oh, no.
He's out of range, and he can do that because they have nothing to just straight up kill him. Look at his HP. Like, he has 50 HP, 50 mana.
Oh, we'll see that the kill down bottom that we weren't able to catch with the action going on elsewhere. It was the move from Chessie that enabled it. First blood for 5 men. I've seen both mids already starting to get active as expected. This Tiny and Void Spirit, both very important for their respective sides in terms of just setting this tempo, and they're starting to push some of the side lanes into their favor.
Medusa dropping very low.
And no regen.
She's sitting at 250 HP with no regen. I guess someone will just have to bring.
And they've got this ward down, so Zayat.
Ace might die.
He's got a little bit of mana, providing him some protection with the shield,
One more
but
hit
it's...
could do the trick.
Oh no! I mean, this top lane's starting to get a bit messy for 5 men. Those 2 back-to-back deaths from Pi, and now Ace getting dove upon, at least for 5 men on the other side of the map. They continue to have a very strong bottom lane. They managed to get the kill, but this top lane it's kind of become a bit of a mess for 5 men.
It is. At one point, if she dies one more time, we'll just need to fall back to a jungle, or if Tiny gets a good rune, it's very important that you go for the runes, secure them for your Tiny when he's playing the mid lane.
No one. On the way over. They're starting to get the opening onto Zibe. The Remnant will pull back no one for the time being. They get the disruption out into the setup. The silence as well from RTW, pushing the 2 of them back, making sure that they can kill off Zibe with no potential save coming out from the rest of 5 men. Zayat, they've just done it again, top lane. I mean, Pi, he came in bottom to try and help out Zibe, wasn't able to do so, and again, Ace is being left alone top, and Zayat and Resolution, they're just diving in, and this is before they hit their ultimates. Once these 2 heroes have their level 6s, this lane, I mean, it's got to be considered just a no-go zone completely for this Medusa.
Yeah, I think Medusa does not go to a top lane anymore. 5 men making a mistake, showing too many heroes at the mid and the bottom lane, which allows Virtus.pro to actually play aggressive on the top lane and just dive the tower.
I mean, Chessie, he's come up here to, I just kind of guess, find some experience. I mean, getting a kill on these heroes is very unlikely with Doom and Supernova available, so not much that Chessie can do. Yeah, I say that he's going to try and go for Rezo. Will at least force out the Supernova from Resolution, as Rezo has to pop that at the worry of being blown up by Chessie's combo, so he's able to force that out of VP.
And whenever you see position 4 being on the mid lane, what Misery is doing right now, you know the mid laner is ganking. If you didn't kill him, if you know that he's full mana, full HP, something's cooking. Dry Ranger is level 6, so that's a ton of kill potential. Solo just got 2 Observer Wards killed. And it seems like he's gonna survive that. Chessie chasing.
I still really want to try and make something happen here, 5 men. But
Doom's
Zayat,
already level 6.
Yeah,
10-minute mark.
They got such a good start on that top lane, Zayat and Resolution. After a sort of a tough first few waves, first few minutes, like they weren't able to farm, but they got the kills now. Bottom, lead in onto the Vengeful Spirit. They'll find Pi.
That's
Zibe,
not a good roar.
he's having to use it to run away, and he may not even be able to do that as the disruption from Solo holds him in place. The multi-shot won't quite clip onto Zibe, so he will live, but another ult that's been forced to be used defensively. Chessie, he still hangs around. No one's just able to walk up and combo him. The Doom's down and Chessie's gone. His Void Spirit game is starting to take quite a hit. He made that move up to top, didn't find any action, came down bottom, now loses his life.
This is the perfect run for Tiny. Like, he can just sit down a mid lane, keep farming, and whenever he sees the opportunity, just pop it and gank the side lane.
Yeah, he's incredibly strong now, no one. Highest level in the game. VP now 10 minutes in, up to a 3K lead. It just seems like another situation where 5 men have really struggled to achieve much coming out of the laning phase. They're just starting to crumble across the map.
Zayats is so farmed. He's just 800 gold away from a Blink Dagger on your position 4 Doom 10 minutes in. I don't think you're getting this kill. It's very easy to just dodge the gank. Medusa going for Hand of Midas. Just wants to recover. Well, if you go for Hand of Midas, it's very punishable. Same thing that he did in game number 1.
Well, Jesse, he dove in on this. They know that he already used the 2 charges of Astral Step. He can't get out, and the toss as well for no one. He finds himself a second. Oh, another death. Jesse's game as the voice breeze down to the bottom 4 net worth. This is... Yeah, on these sort of heroes, it hurts so much to fall behind at this early stage. It's going to be so hard for Jesse to have an impact to this Void Spirit if he just keeps dying.
Next time he shows up, there's going to be another Doom ready, so he needs to be very careful about that one. It's very hard for 5 men. I feel like we might see the same kind of game that we had in game number 1, where they're just going to run over the Twilight Die. Yeah, I think he's not getting out of this one.
He'll get a few creeps. These will be his last ones. As again, another death on Pi. No one just... You can feel it. The momentums are flowing with this Tiny. He's getting everything that he goes hunting for. There's now, 3 top spots in the net worth. All that of VP's cause. I mean, well, so Zayats has sort of become the pseudo offlaner here this game because of how good of a game. I mean, this is a 4... He's got his Blink Dagger done. He's got his Blink Dagger done at the same time as his Tiny. The double blinks are online for VP at 12 minutes in.
They can just kill whoever right now with these 2 heroes, and he's also doing a very good job not giving away any spells through Rubik. He uses his neutral creep. Like, he just clapped, and Rubik does not want to have
so
that.
Rubik gets a clap,
Easy clap.
Easy clap. Not going to be as effective in-game as it is in the chat. There we go, smoke from Chessie and Misery. Maybe see if they can catch one here, but VP's got a lot of heroes down here. This is a bit of a scary place to fight, and you can feel it on 5 men. They're already starting to run away. Demonic Purge used on Chessie. No one trying to get the lead in Chessie. He's actually going to go with the Dissimulate over onto Tiny.
Great Remnant.
Good roar, though, onto Rezo. Yeah, stops any chance for anything to come out. Zayats will drop the Doom onto Chessie. Zayats just running in past the tower, but Scorched Earth will be able to find the kill. The Avalanche comes over to the side. Misery falls. They continue to hide Chessie in the trees. He's hoping that they don't find him. Will no one catch a glimpse of him? That he won't. The multi-shot is coming out across. They've TP'd in on Ace, trying to get involved, but VP will just back away.
That's a buyback and 2 heroes down.
Oh, and now
they're going in again.
Chessie, he's so low. He's going to try and jump over for Zayats. Gets the kill. Will begin to start bolting up, but ILTW finds the silence. Chessie's dead. Solo here with a disruption setup. Chessie's buying back. He's got to keep his Ace Medusa safe, but he can't. The TP's too long.
Another combo.
And he jumps in. He's found the combo onto Zimmer. It's a triple kill for RTW. Chessie, he bought back for this. He cannot afford to die, but they're slowing him down with the... He's out. He's out of the game.
Toss him out of the game.
Oh.
Ultra kill for ILTW.
Well, this is... it's looked like a quick 2-0, Lacoste.
And it really does. 9k gold lead. Twilight Die trying to run away from the creeps. Only has a Wind Blaze.
No.
We know how this one's going to end up.
Have mercy.
His TP is on cooldown.
Oh. Goodbye, Pi. Goodbye.
Solo with some Warcraft 3 surrounding skills.
I mean, what do they do? Chessie, he's got less farm than Solo right now.
Chessie's not having a game.
No. No. This is a rough one. This is a rough one indeed.
It was a great Remnant into Roar. Like, he caught a mid-dive with the Remnant.
Sure. So he could just look back at that moment and say, hey, guys,
this is the only
do you remember that point?
Thing we have to say at the moment for 5 men, because it's looking very rough.
Yeah. Not... I can't remember last time I saw a mid lane at lower net worth than the enemy 5 at 14 minutes in. That's it's pretty brutal. VP holding nothing back today in these games. And no one in particular, just 5-0-10. Chessie is going to try and go on him. He's trying his best to burst him. Pilot though will swap him back into the Magic Missile. Can they kill this Tiny? No one gets another Avalanche off. It's defensive disrupt. They can't kill him. And Chessie's just going to die again. Oh!
That Tiny had another combo ready because of the arcane rune. It's just falling apart.
Oh, it's a good job they don't pay us by the minute, Lacoste.
Radiant structures are fortified.
That's this game. Ace. So how's Ace doing? He got his Midas. Oh no. Oh no.
Doom is ready.
Oh no, Ace. Oh no. Oh.
He's thinking about it.
He doesn't even need to doom him. He doesn't even need to doom him. Oh, they might get solo. They might get solo here. They're going to try solo. Oh, can he go for a deny? Oh, can they kill solo? They got solo. They got solo, but still 3 heroes dead on 5 men. Oh no, the supernova. Can they kill it?
Oh, that level 1 supernova. Only 6 hits. I mean, only, but with 2 heroes with no fiery spirits. It's an offlane, Phoenix. So
yeah, is this the start of a comeback, Lacoste?
I don't think so, but let's pretend it is.
Yeah, come on. I'm ready for...
I'm afraid, Owen, because one it hits 1k gold lead per minute, then the game's officially over.
Yeah, that's right. Gaben turns up in person and calls it. Jesse. He's got Remnant with a tree. Oh. It's a rough one. Yeah.
I have to say, at this point, Jesse is very good at respawning.
Yes. That's
one way to say it.
Oh, 15k lead now for VP. 17 minutes in, 29-8. Just brutal, fast-paced action here from VP. Both games. Game 1 was pretty rough. Game 2...
Seems like this is a smoke from 5 men.
I mean, they've got to do something. It's all or nothing. What can they find?
I mean, you have Medusa. I don't think you just call the GG. There's always a high ground defense, but you need to make something happen. Solo's just standing there.
Oh, here we go. They get the Remnant onto Solo. Solo gets thrown by the Stone Gaze. They get the Shadow Demon. Solo down. If they do that a couple more times, they might be able to get Chessie back above him.
Yeah, they might need more smokes to actually pull something off like this. And I don't think they get too much out of that. Also, Virtus.pro could easily just go to the Roche Pit. With the Drow Ranger, they have enough damage. Also, very interesting choice of talents on Drow Ranger.
Oh, what's he going for?
50% talent gust. Gust blind, I mean.
Okay. I mean...
Against the boars, against the necro units.
Yeah, it's...
Medusa, it's extremely good talent.
I mean, it's a lot, right? I guess most of the time it's just, carry players going to be carry players. They're always going to take what benefits themselves individually, the stats over it, but 50% gust blind early on is definitely nothing to laugh at. As this Roche will be an easy Roshan for VP. As 5 men, they are starting to get their way out of their half of the map. Able to push out this bottom lane as 5. Just trying to find whatever opportunities they can to come back into this. Already VP now on the way over. The outpost, of course, still in VP's control. Zayat's charging in. Who's he going to find? He's going to drop the Doom down onto Ace. Ace still full HP and full mana. Rezo sweeping in from the side. They will lift him up. Rezo pots the Supernova. Can they take it out? They're turning with the Zeus. They can. The egg will fall very quickly. And now over towards Zayat. They may be able to get themselves the Doom. Magic missiles out. They get themselves a 3rd kill here. 5 men. Now can they get out? Because no one. He's ready to take on the world. Ace going for the TP out. Have they got any cancel? They don't. Ace and Misery will make it away there. As 5 men able to find a 3-for-2 trade.
And once again, you see this Doom not giving away a single good spell to Rubik. He uses his Hoof Stomp immediately, or whatever it's called, Centaur Stomp. But, this shows signs of life for 5 men. Get a couple of kills. Medusa is one of the heroes in the late game that, especially with paired up with Vengeful Spirit, that you don't expect this kind of damage to come through.
See no one. How's his progression going? He's about 3/4 of the way on his Aghanim Scepter and very close to hitting level 18. He's maybe eyeing up some solo potential here, but they're going to jump on him. They're going to find the opening, but he's still got that haste rune going. Remnant won't catch him, so no one able to speed his way out of their bottom lane. The push coming in from VP as they'll look for an opportunity to take tier 2 away from 5 men down on this bottom lane. This should push ILTW very close to having his Manta style complete. But yeah, no hold of this tower will be attempted. Still respecting the fact that VP are very much ahead. ILTW has the Aegis. It's very hard for 5 men to take the fights head on. There's no one. He's hunting for Pi. Pi able to put that Blink Dagger momentarily on cooldown with Wave of Terror, but not long enough. There's no one still able to jump in. Pick up another kill as this Tiny just continues to ball out of control.
Is there some kind of a battle pass reward that I'm not aware of that Twilight Die is going for?
I don't know. I mean, you're right. There's a lot of achievements nowadays. You get battle pass points for everything. So maybe is at the moment. I mean, what's his KDA right now? It's not looking too hot.
Have you ever seen a mid laner being the lowest on the network chart? I don't remember, but this one could be the game. It's looking very rough for 5 men.
He's managed to get back ahead of Solo now, Jesse. You know, so he's on the road to recovery. It's a long road, a very windy road. There's no one.
It's very hard for our observer to catch all the kills. Tiny is just out of control in this game.
It's just everywhere. No one is having a beautiful time on the Tiny. This is, I feel like we've seen a lot of games where Tiny, and when this hero pops off, it just really pops off. And in the hands of some of these tier 1 mids.
Still almost 2 full minutes left on that Aegis. I think it's try to pressure the high ground with their heroes. This is the build that I love to see when you have Tiny in your team, someone going for Veil. Just amplifying that magical damage. Also, we see more often when Tiny is being played as position 4, Blink Dagger into Veil, just to have that extra damage from your burst.
VP can pretty much do what they want here, especially with, okay, no one actually adjusting the build rather than the Axe, just going for the AC. And it's going to help them, of course, a lot with the building push. But they're soon to be coming in with VP. As 5 men, the best they can do is prepare from the high ground. Pi tries to step out of the base. Is he going to live? He's getting beat down by the illusions of the disruption, and they will finish him off. Paladai gone again. AC out now for no one, so the push of VP is going to be incredibly fast. See what sort of whole 5 men can do. Ace, the only real hero on 5 men's lineup with some semblance of farm. He does have that, at least the Manta finished on top of the Midas, so a bit of a way to get out of the initiation from VP, a chance to pop that Stone Gaze despite ILTW throwing out the Gust.
Full AC on Tiny. Some extra damage, extra attack speed for the team, minus armor on the buildings. Aegis will be gone in 20 seconds, so they need to be careful about the timing.
Radiant are scanning.
As a guy who builds weird items, Owen, would you go for Divine Rapier straight away on Medusa?
I think you have to. I think you really do. I don't see any other way of this turning around. Ace has got to go, and he's got to dream big. He's queuing up the Halberd. I mean, I guess sure what that is going to help against the physical damage output from either the Drow or the Tiny, but is it going to turn things around, though? It just feels rough. I mean, obviously, 5 men are in a position right now that, you know, regardless of what they build, it's not really going to make this position look much better that they're in.
Virtus.pro might take a fight, try to go for a gank, see what happens, because they don't... I don't think they can do that much on side of 5 men. They might lose a hero or 2, but they can't take the Roche. Tier 1 tower's already gone. So I feel like Virtus.pro can allow it to play like more aggressive, try to risk more.
There we go. They're going to try and open it onto no one. No one gets the avalanche off. Brawl comes through. Zayas jumps in on the back line. The Stone Gaze comes out. No one's able to turn in time, though. Starts to retreat. You have Solo coming in for the side, trying to help out Paladai with a swap back. No one will be saved just in time by the disruption. The Sunray's coming out. No one is still alive. Finally, the Magic Missile finishes him off, but the Doom's down onto Ace. ILTW coming in for the side, kicking out the damage with the multi-shot. Misery just accepts his fate. There's no escape for the Rubik. I mean, they kill no one. They do have to use pretty much everything. They still lose 2 heroes themselves, losing their big old carry as well as one of them. As now VP, they don't need no one alive to start pushing the high ground with this drought. ILTW starts chipping away at the tier 3.
But this is what I talked about. They can afford to lose a hero, but you have another hero who's beyond godlike, and right now they can put some pressure. Next Roche might respawn in a minute and 20 seconds. They don't necessarily need to end right now.
Jesse.
Hype it up.
It's hard to hype that up.
Hype gone.
Yep. Chessie gone again. The tip's coming out. They're able to tip Ace out of the game last time. Let's see if they can tip Chessie out of it this time, VP. Dropping them tips. As this mid lane racks torn apart. As this lead for VP. I mean, today VP, they came to play. This series has... It really has been, I feel like the most one-sided series we've seen here in the Immortal League. This 2-0 has not been a nice one for 5 men. This one's been pretty painful. As they come in with the egg. The egg this time around may just be successful.
They're gonna get it.
They get it. They do get the egg. They'll lose Zibe for it, but they get the egg. It's a kill. It's a kill, and it will stop VP for now. The rest of 5 men able to back up and refuel.
Oh, Divine Rapier, I see.
Is he going for it?
Yeah, he's going for it. Still far away, you know, on Medusa, but I think this is something that you need if you want to somehow manage to make a comeback in this game.
No, he's got to dream big. It's the only way. The only way they can have a chance of turning this. Halberd, as I said, they just wouldn't have done anything to change the state of the game, but now Ace may not even get the chance to get the rapier. They dive in, Zayas in with a 3-man stomp. This one, they're probably going to start dropping the Gs.
I believe this is it. Oh,
yeah.
Chessie is the first one to call it. Man, Chessie had a rough time in this game. No one popped off. He was all over the place. I think the lane setup, what VP did, how they played this game,